It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in cinema, streaming classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim. Hi, Bryce. And Murray, who just stepped off a plane from Las Vegas. How was the trip there, Merman? Long?
Just like his penis.
So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Let's penis on. Well, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform. Or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/FilmRageYYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film. And we will, if it played in cinemas anywhere in the world. Now, let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our sponsors.
Hey Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5, $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
Not sure if it's just me or is this like a sleepy kind of Wednesday? I feel real sleepy.
I know why I'm tired. I don't know why you're tired.
Hey, you're in Vegas. Like, you basically stayed up. How many days were you there? 3? You're like up. What's 3 times 24 at this? So I'm too tired. I can't.
72 hours, yeah.
You've been up 72 hours straight. I can see why you're
Something like that.
tired. This working for a living is making me tired.
Yeah.
But you know what makes me even more tired?
No.
The movie we're going to talk about right now, which was what?
Superhero movies?
Yeah, superhero movies.
We saw Black Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Adam.
Black Adam.
So, Black Adam stars Rock the Dwayne Johnson as Teth Adam, who after 5,000 years is awoken and is the lone hope for the people of Kandak to be free. In his way stands the Justice Society, an army, some thugs, and an all-powerful superhuman king. The Justice Society consists of Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Cyclone, and Atom Smasher.
Atom Smasher!
Their powers are as impressive as their names. Hawkman is strong and can fly. Dr. Fate can do psychic stuff. Cyclone makes wind. And Atom Smasher smashes stuff. So yeah. It is apparent early on that Teth Adam can overwhelm any of these so-called heroes, but doesn't do it for some unknown reason. Instead, he wastes his time and ours, as at any point he could destroy not only the Justice Society, but also the aforementioned army, but for some reason he doesn't. Instead, we get scene after scene of him throwing people in the air, flying around, shooting lightning out of his hands, walking through walls, lots of wall walking through.
So much wall walking.
And spewing line after line of uninspired dialogue. I was a slave until I died. Then I was reborn a god. I kneel before no one. Or, I'm not peaceful, nor do I surrender. What? Or, force is always necessary. It's bad. That's bad, right?
What was his catchphrase again? That the kid made him come up with?
I don't even remember.
Remember?
I don't know.
Tell him Black Adam sent you or something.
Tell him the man in black.
Yeah, tell him something about the Man in Black.
Man in Black sent you.
Yeah, so.
But he had to do it before he killed him. Yeah.
But yeah. I believe at one point Hawkman says that a bad plan is better than no plan at all. I wonder if after writing this garbage, the 3 credited writers proclaimed, a bad script is better than no script at all. First of all, a bad plan is not better than no plan at all. And a bad script should just be thrown away, not made into a movie. I never thought I would watch a movie where Rock the Dwayne Johnson would be unable to save the film with his mere presence. But Black Adam is so silly and badly written that not even the almighty Rock could save it. Black Adam was a rage.
Well, yeah, this is a bit of a surprise, actually. Isn't superhero movies a meh for you?
Usually, my last line is, yeah, it's a superhero movie, so it was meh. But in this case, it was not. It was annoying. It was bad. It was crap.
I have so much to say about this movie. How many hours do we have for this podcast today?
We've got 35 minutes.
35 hours. Okay. Exactly. So, this was definitely not the best Suicide Squad. Having DC Storm, DC Ant-Man, DC Captain America, and DC Doctor Strange. Oh, and then of course along came DC Thor. Fighting the creature from Thor Ragnarok was just as I predicted it would be when we saw the trailer. Completely and utterly a movie that did not need to be made. Everything about it, from one scene to the very next scene, was superhero trite, where the heroes had their own theme music, almost like Team America, only not nearly as funny or making fun of itself like Team America does. I mean, PG-rated Team America. Just imagine that for a few minutes, people. Imagine a movie that took itself seriously and tried to make Team America, but not funny.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. There was not one thing about this that was original or surprising or worth seeing. There was one funny moment in the movie where both Bryce and I laughed at it, perhaps, but then I forgot what that was. It had something to do with Old Man Bond / DC Doctor Strange said something that was funny.
He said something funny. I remember.
And we laughed.
Yeah.
It was funny.
That was good. That was a sweet 3 seconds.
Thank God Murray's man crush was in this movie for that one line.
Hey,
that's all I want to say.
At least we got 3 seconds of enjoyment out of 2 hours and
7 hours. Yeah.
2 hours and 47 minutes or whatever.
This was too long and too stupid, and I hated every single thing about it except that one scene.
Yes.
Except for that funny thing that dude said, the Doctor Strange guy.
Yeah.
/ Mamma Mia dude.
Yeah.
/ old Bond crony.
Remington Steele.
What was that? Something. Yeah,
it was funny,
that
was funny.
It was funny.
Being funny.
Now, can we just talk about the future of our podcast for just a minute? We did away with children's movies, and we all agreed not to have to watch movies based on board games or video games again. Can we please agree that we do not need to see superhero movies anymore? We've almost preconceived every one that we see is going to be a rage for me, unless it's a high exception. They're always a meh for you. So there's nothing that's going to surprise us. They're just regurgitated drivel every single time they put one out. It's just, I mean, I'm not saying we don't go see them, because we will, but there's got to be other movies that are coming out that we could see and talk about that have more value than us talking about these every time. There's one coming out every day.
Well, that's the problem, Jim, is that's not true. We would have an entire episode devoted to Triangle of Sadness if that were the case last week, which wouldn't be so bad, by the way.
Yeah, it wouldn't be so bad for sure. Yeah.
But I think we have to
Can
continue.
we please?
People like
Can
to
we
hear
make a
you talk
decision?
about the agony that you've gone through for watching these movies, and I
don't
think
know.
that has to continue.
I
Why
guess-
it's called Film Rage.
Exactly. It's not film. It's not called "We love movies and we have a good time every time we go to them." It's called Film Rage.
Directors and actors, beware.
Can't hide from the rage.
Can't hide from the rage.
So
This
what-
movie was so bad. This is definitely making my top 5 worst movies of this year. It was a
Wow.
rage.
That's
And I've got to
bad.
unpack them, but I want to hear how much Murray hated it. Murray, what'd you think of Black Adam?
Oh, my turn now?
Yeah.
It is.
Well, I can still talk another 7 hours, and I got a lot of unpacking.
But I don't want you to.
Let's have it.
The Rock's in a hard place. Superhero dud. That seems to be the consensus online.
Okay, what is
By
the consensus?
critics. One of the appeals of
really care
Dwayne
about
Johnson
that.
is that he doesn't take himself too seriously.
Yes.
He's self-deprecating.
Yes.
Able to make fun of himself and able to make with the witty banter.
Yes.
This film had none of that.
None of it.
He was bitter, angry, mournful
Mm.
for the whole movie. His character had definitely had some loose morals. He had no problem just killing bad guys, destroying property, beating up the good guys. It's like, yeah, he had just did whatever the hell he wanted. Yet Superman
Which is fine.
gets flack for that stuff. So let's talk about
Had
the
to go
good guys.
further.
Let's talk about the good guys.
Pierce Brosnan, Dr. Fate.
DC Doctor Strange.
I love Pierce.
Yeah, we know.
But he's old as dirt and shouldn't be fighting anybody, much less the Rock.
I can't believe I'm hearing Murray say this.
Because he's like 80 years old. He should be in a superhero movie. He definitely phoned it in. Aldous Hodge, who I happen to love, is an awesome actor. He was a cool superhero. I love the wings, and he actually seemed to be pretty strong. Unlike, some of the Marvel characters, they're human. They're just, they bleed. He doesn't seem to do that. Definitely the best of this bunch. Atom Smasher. So, this is Ant-Man?
Yeah,
What the hell is he even there for?
that's what
Waste of a character. He doesn't even do anything. He grows to be huge and he doesn't actually do anything.
he elbowed something once.
Yeah,
Once.
he
The
elbowed
2-hour
something.
movie, he did one thing.
And then
Otherwise, he just keeps screwing
I want to
things
know
up.
what you had to say about World Girl.
Cyclone.
Cyclone.
Yeah. She was kind of cool, but they really need to stop casting kids.
She just makes wind.
She
makes
does.
wind.
She makes wind and she breaks wind.
So Adam Smasher would pull her finger, and then she'd make.
She
wind.
makes some wind.
Yeah.
No, I had a huge problem with the character. I get what he's an anti-hero. He's not a hero, and
Yeah.
he's in the Shazam universe, which I wasn't crazy about that movie either. But it's the same. They basically have the same powers. Like they have the same wizards that are giving them the powers, and
Yeah.
and then, well, I don't know. Can we give away the spoiler?
Whatever. This movie is a spoil in itself. So
well,
anybody that watches
the
it,
only credit scene at the end of the movie,
post credit.
is Black Adam, and then what's her name there? Viola
My
Davis.
future wife, yeah.
Viola Davis shows up and basically gives them hell. It's like, we're fine as long as you don't leave that city. Just stay there.
What she was planning on doing anyway.
Otherwise, we're going to send the Justice League after you. It's like he goes, send them all. And of course, you know who shows up?
That's right.
Man of Steel.
That's right.
Kal-El.
I was disappointed. I was hoping Batman was going to show up. I would get my Ben Affleck on.
So, as you know, I am like a huge Superman fan. So
Yeah.
I had a huge problem with this character in general. It just, and I don't care if Black Adam's thing is he has magic, and apparently Superman has a problem with magic. It's like Superman would still kick his ass. Unless
This is well, I'd say I
Woody.
want to see this, but I don't actually want to see it.
well, I'm sure you will, because there's another Shazam movie. Henry Cavill just signed up for Man of Steel 2. I'm not sure what that's going to be about. But I hate to actually agree with you guys, but this is a giant rage. Yeah, it was, and I love superhero movies, but this
Rage!
this was garbage.
It was garbage. I got some unpacking.
And the one person that I wanted to see kick ass in the movie didn't. That was Sarah Shahi. Like, in everything I've ever seen her in, she's played like spies and secret agents and stuff. She's always kicked everybody else's ass. This one, she's like a mom. Like
How dare her?
Hardly does anything. Like she swings a pipe at those undead guys.
Yeah, she doesn't even make any wind.
Yeah.
Actually just making
She didn't make any wind.
No.
They should have made her Cyclone.
They should have let her put on some kind of DC
let her make some
helmet.
wind.
Like put a helmet on.
Yeah, no,
Sometimes I make wind.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, it usually smells like flowers because you just eat
I
vegetables.
know, right?
This is
They
terrible.
smell so good.
If you really love The Rock and you don't care if there's no script at all, you might.
I
like
love
this.
The Rock.
You might.
I love The Rock too, and that's the problem. It's like I didn't think there was a vehicle that you could put The Rock in that he wouldn't make it at least a match.
Yeah.
Because it's The Rock.
Yeah,
He's entertaining.
he is.
He is, and I've said this before, there is one movie star walking the face of the earth right now, a true movie star. We don't have any anymore. We've got The Rock.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of actors. We've
Yep.
got some big actors.
Yeah.
But we got
some good
one
actors.
movie star, and that's The Rock.
I would tend to agree with you.
Yep.
Except I agree that
But he
Keanu Reeves
can-
is also a movie star.
He's
but
not.
that's just
He's just another actor.
no, he's just a movie star.
Not a movie star.
So this is some of the things I want to unpack. What is it? You had alluded to it in your review, but what's the fuck with force-like powers? Like,
yeah,
for beginning of the movie, he literally lays waste to everything, and then he's playing punch 'em up with people later
it's
on.
It's like you're sitting here and you're like you're eliminating an entire army in the first scene, and then you're having a fist fight.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
What is? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that
Three scenes later, you're having fisticuffs.
Yeah, and throwing
throw
people.
lightning through them, he's done.
zap. Like, don't make the effort to toss people or do something. Just you get zapped.
Yeah.
You get zapped. You get zapped. You get zapped.
Yeah,
It was like
bizarre.
Again, it's like they take these movies, be it Star Wars or be it superhero movies now, and it's like, there's a moment where you go, okay, this person has unwielding power, and then the next scene they're like, my power, I'm a little tired. Like, it's Wednesday.
Let's arm wrestle to see who wins here.
Let's arm wrestle instead. Yeah. So
So
that annoyed the hell out of me.
It's so dumb.
Well, and the worst thing.
Don't write the character that way if you're not going to follow through.
I really hate about this movie was like halfway through or whatever, when he realizes that, I'm just no good for anybody, blah, blah, blah. He basically gets his powers taken away. He ends up in freaking a tank where he can't even talk, can't even say the word that makes him a superhero. And he's underwater in a freaking underwater facility.
Yeah.
And he breaks out without his powers. Like, he doesn't speak the word when he gets out.
Yeah, but he's
of the
really
tank.
good fighter.
Yeah, that's...
And he almost drowns.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying to Bryce. He's running away to get into the water, but before he gets into the water, he doesn't pull the thing out of his mouth and go Shazam, Black Adam, or whatever.
Shazam.
But Black Adam, Shazama. He waits until he goes into the water and tries to swim. Like that part was
goes all the way to the surface, and then he is almost like drowning. Like he's
he almost did, but then magic saved him. I guess it was dumb.
I'm just so disappointed in DC.
Yeah, I expected more.
They show potential, and then they give us this.
And then we kind of talked a little bit about it, but what's with the Wonder Twats that they threw in there? It's like this is like they're trying to build the Justice League with, Wonder Twin powers activate, form of a whirlwind, form of a giant douchebag. Like, what? I have no clue why they even existed.
According to comic book legend, the Justice Society was around before the Justice League, so they went way back to like the 40s or whatever.
Okay, but then they just added children in there for no apparent reason. It's like we got nothing else.
They weren't children; they were grown up.
Well, they barely had hair.
They were all grown up
in their nether regions.
They were grown up.
They weren't grown up because
they were totally
one kid's
grown up.
I got the suit from my dad.
They were like in their 20s.
I got the suit from my dad, and I don't know nothing about nothing.
His dad, Henry Winkler.
Was 80 years old. He's
the Fonz.
His dad, the Fonz. Yeah, there just was every single thing about this made me angry.
Why would you have a cameo from the Fonz that lasts like 3 seconds?
Exactly.
And just does nothing for
and
anything.
then make his son like this twit that had.
I
like Adam Smasher.
Adam Smasher was a waste. He was a waste. World Girl was a waste.
Yeah.
It was this movie was a waste.
She made wind.
She made wind. Yeah, she blew a
movie
lot of
made
things
a lot of
over.
wind.
Yeah, this is terrible. Please don't go see this movie.
Yeah, too late.
Yeah. I don't think anybody else is. I haven't even looked at the box office numbers. But
It's done rather okay.
that's unfortunate.
I don't know what good anymore is, but it did like 90 million or something. Is that good?
I don't know.
Sounds like a lot of
Let's
money
say-
to me.
In the
I'd
old
say
days,
not.
superhero movies made over 100, sometimes almost
Yeah,
2.
but that was, back when people went
3
to
years
movies.
ago. I think Spider-Man made that much. And that was during COVID.
Spider-Man.
I don't know. This movie.
Anyway.
Spider-Man was a perfect storm where everybody was so eager to get back to do anything.
Yeah.
And it just sort of came out at the right time where
And everybody missed
It was-
nostalgia for
yeah.
a weekend. Okay, well, let's talk about something that hopefully will bring joy to your heart in a movie called Triangle of Sadness. I know it sounds like a bit of an oxymoron.
Sounds sad.
That it's a triangle of sadness, but it brings joy to your heart.
so sad.
So if Gilligan's Island
Yes.
was made today,
Yes.
and instead of the island being ran by the skipper and Gilligan,
Right.
it was run by a Filipino toilet cleaner who created an empire built on her power based on her keen abilities to fish, make fire, and lead a cast of castaways where she can choose to have sex with a male model for pretzels and basically rule like never before.
She's
Then you
awesome.
can imagine what this movie was kind of like. It even had updated Russian Mr. Howell, Ginger the model, and a whole other cast of castaways. But that's just the back end of the film. The
is.
front end of the film
Yes.
was littered with hilarity, hilariously funny, and hilariously tongue-in-cheek slam against all things aristocracy. The humor was subtle at times and in your face the next. The film was made into acts of sorts, and each act had its charm, and the main characters were all so well developed and well written and directed. The irony of the opening scene, which is in the trailer, so this isn't a spoiler, with the HMV Balenciaga looks, to the fact the same character.
H&M.
Yeah, sorry, HM. Why did I say HMV?
I don't know.
H&M. Yeah, that's right.
You're missing your local
was-
record
Yeah,
store.
I missed my record store. Yeah, it was what's it called?
H&M.
H&M. Yeah, H&M Balenciaga looks. To the fact that the same character is selling his body for pretzels later in the film was beyond cleverly developed. I had a smile or a laugh on my mouth the entire film. With a perfect ending and just as perfect a beginning, this was a Mondo sandwich with the beginning or the top of the bun made of Mondo,
Yeah.
and the meat of the movie,
What was it?
or
made of?
Act 2,
Yeah.
being a Mondo on a boat,
Uh-huh.
and the bottom of the bun,
Yes.
or the
yes.
third act, or the ending,
Do tell.
was Gilligan's Island Mondo.
Oh.
So yeah, this was amazing, and it's gonna probably make my top 10 for this year. The humor was in every single way my kind of humor. And what kind is that, you say?
I didn't say, but go
It's
ahead.
actually funny.
Oh yeah, funny humor is the best.
It's the best humor, right? Usually
It
we
is.
don't get that. This was beyond hilarious. Couldn't stop laughing and smiling this whole movie. It's gonna make my top 10 for sure.
Wow.
It was not a triangle of sadness for me. It was a triangle of Mondo.
The Triangle of Mondo. Triangle of Sadness examines class and status and power and self-worth and beauty, and it does it all in an extremely amusing way. It is absurd at times, poignant at times, disgusting at times, and consistently funny throughout. By the time we get to the end of our harrowing tale, we have experienced so many unexpected turns and are introduced to a parade of unforgettable characters. The first act is brilliant as we see a couple argue about their gender roles. The second act is unforgettable as seasick luxury ship patrons wallow in their own filth. Plus Woody Harrelson is there. And
Also to wallow.
and the third and final act shines a light on how absolute power can corrupt.
Absolutely.
This is a well acted and extremely well written deconstruction of class roles and expectations. It has been one of the most talked about films of the festival season, as has won various awards and accolades. I would agree with all these accolades. As I love Triangle of Sadness, it was Mondo.
It's so good.
Yeah, it was.
This was a giant sandwich, triangle sandwich of Mondo for me.
Yeah, it was just so good. It was almost like 3 movies in one, because they're all connected, obviously,
of course,
but they are 3 individual acts that could stand on their own as a story in themselves, and just so good. And the focus of the movie kind of shifts a little bit as we go along too, where we're really focused on the
couple
at the start,
the model couples,
and by the end, we're focused on different things, even though they're still there.
I do find it kind of good though to bookends, because it starts with the male model.
Yeah.
He's the opening scene, and the bun closes with the female model. So it does it, even though the focus isn't them, to your point on the third act, but I love how it bookends with the 2 of them.
Yeah. No, this is a very well written and very funny. Like so funny.
Like, yeah. The scenes on the boat when like in the thing I think that I love the most about the boat was the guy gets on the horn, like the drunk Russian dude, and he's like yeah, the boat's going down. He's like, it's not going down. And then later it actually does go down. So you're like, how did you predict that? And they'll show scenes where there's nobody at the helm. Like the boat's just sitting there, and she's like, wait a minute, shouldn't somebody be driving the boat?
Yeah. No, this played at Calgary International Film Festival, and I made a conscious decision not to go to it there because I knew it was going to come out. Yeah, we knew it would come out. So I'm glad we're talking about it now, and it's getting the focus that it should, because we would have talked about it during the festival, but we wouldn't have talked about it this in depth, and people really need to go see this.
This is a must-see film.
Yeah.
For absolute. All right. Murray, you didn't get to see this because you were in Vegas.
I was busy.
Weren't they showing it in Vegas, Murray?
Nope.
Have time to go to movies.
He was too busy drinking.
What?
Hard drinking Lincoln.
Sure.
All right. That's Triangle of Sadness.
Sorry, you guys gave that Mondo, right?
Yeah, we did.
Sure did.
The most Mondo of Mondos.
Mondo of Mondos.
Yep.
Okay. Well, the spirit of Halloween.
Oh.
I decided to try to get into the festive spirit.
Murray.
There was a double feature, I guess you could say, of Terror Train.
Oh.
I thought it was the same movie, but it actually was the original and a remake.
So you watched them both?
I watched them both, but I watched them in the wrong order.
Oh, no.
I watched the remake first, which was
terrible.
Produced by Tubi.
Nice.
Which is the free streaming site.
So they've got free money.
You don't have to
free money.
For anything.
That's right.
Yeah. So it was a Tubi original, the 2022 version, and it showed. Yeah, that was the most cliched and often repeated pun that I've seen online. Terror Train sadly goes off the rails.
That sounds right.
Though I watched this one first, I later discovered it was a carbon copy of the original.
So it was just the exact it was like Psycho
movie, except Mary Walsh.
Oh, I love Mary Walsh.
This legendary Newfie actress was a pleasant surprise.
So she was in the remake?
She's in the new one, yeah.
Okay.
And everybody else pretty much sucked.
Speaking of, who were we talking earlier that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was the only actual movie star? I think she's a movie star.
Mary
too.
Walsh,
No,
you think so?
she's not.
Absolutely.
Movies,
No,
She's a
there's
TV
one
star.
movie star on the face of the earth, Jim.
It's Mary Walsh.
Surprised you didn't say Ben Affleck.
Yeah, no, he knows.
Anyway,
He knows
yeah,
better.
The characters
No.
characters are
Ben Affleck
uninspired.
is the finest actor of ours or any other's
He's
generation.
not a movie star.
No.
No. There's one movie star.
He might disagree with you.
It's Mary Walsh.
Anyway, so yeah, that was it. It was horrible. It was a big rage.
Okay, good. But the original.
Then I watched the original, 1980. It is better, barely. Jamie Lee Curtis in her early Halloween years.
I knew she was
I remember
in it.
that.
She was young and hot and just, right off of Halloween.
That's
so
right.
Just
And
like
there
me.
was-
I'm young and hot.
She doesn't kick ass like
I'm
she
always
usually
hot.
does. She was kind of the victim in the movie.
Yeah, she
but
was.
It worked for her.
There was a lot of stabby in it.
And in both movies, there was a creepy magician who was on the train with him, who was
Yes.
he was the entertainment for this this fraternity thing, which was stupid. Why they would hire a magician for a bunch of 22-year-olds? But in the original, the creepy magician was David Copperfield,
Nice.
a young David Copperfield, like before
Creepy Copperfield.
before he actually made it big. He was much better than the skeezy version and the remake. On the whole, the acting was better. It was still a lame story. And yeah, I saw the remake first. I knew how it ended.
Yeah, exactly. So there was no surprises.
No, it was a meh. It wasn't as bad as the remake, but
Nice.
they were both bad. But
I would say that was a meh for me too.
Yeah.
Bryce, did you like Terror
It
Train, the
was
original?
meh.
yeah.
There you go.
Anyway,
And so that was your Halloween
That was
escapade.
my Halloween escapade
Did you see
last
that on
weekend.
the flight?
no, I saw it home before I left. It was on
nice.
Crave. It was
Nice.
back to back.
Sweet.
And yeah, I don't really do horror movies, but it's like, oh, okay, this one has Jamie Lee Curtis in it. I'll check it out.
Well
Anyway.
worth the price of admission.
I guess so. Anyway, so that's what I did on my week off.
Nice.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Sweet rage. I think it's no surprise that I don't want to watch any more superhero movies. Unlike Bryce and perhaps Marie. In my books, every superhero movie is a rage unless it's on an exception basis.
Yeah, like when Ben Affleck's in it.
Yeah, even then.
Like Daredevil.
Okay, no, we've talked about this. Daredevil is awful, and Ben Affleck is mostly awful. No, but my rage this week isn't that. My rage is at our podcast because I can't stop watching them on our podcast. That's my rage this week.
Oh.
My podcast is causing me stress to have to watch these terrible superhero movies. I don't want to do it.
That's terrible.
It's the worst.
Oh,
I hate us.
we're the worst.
That's my rage. Us.
All right. That's fair.
My rage is film.
My rage is film rage. All right. Black Adam was an opportunity for DC to continue to go to darker places, but instead we got a Marvel clone. This was a major step backwards for the studio. If I wanted to see a Marvel movie, I would have gone to a Marvel movie.
Like Morpheus.
Yeah, like Orpheus. That's my rage. Honestly, though, they like, I know you didn't like the Batman, but you had to at least respect that they were doing something a little bit different, that they were taking a darker approach, that they were putting, a very good actor in the role.
Yes.
I mean, there was so much, and it didn't hit with you, and I get that. But you gotta at least keep on going down that avenue. I don't need to see any more Marvel ripoffs because this went to that side. It's full on Marvel. It took a movie that probably should have been closer to an R rating if it was written properly.
Yeah.
And made it PG. You take this guy that wants to just kill everybody, and you make him PG. That just comes off lame.
Yeah, you know, I have not normally been too disappointed with DC, to be quite honest. Like, if I'm going to have to watch a superhero movie, if it's a DC, at least I'm semi-excited about it.
Yeah.
Like Suicide Squad. Freaking loved it. Thought it was one of the best superhero movies I'd ever seen. And because it was dark as fuck, and people were just getting murdered left, right, and center, sharks eating people, it was... And then the beginning part, which just blew my mind, it was like, yeah... Why aren't you doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you doing... It wasn't even Marvel. It was Marvel Light.
Marvel can have the kiddies.
This was rated PG.
It
wasn't PG-13.
Let's make DC the adult ones.
And how many people did Black Adam kill in this movie? Like hundreds.
Hundreds. But none of them like...
But
somebody just dropped from the sky.
Yeah. It's just like...
But they didn't show him go splat. They didn't show any blood.
No. But if it was DC... Wait, it was DC.
Yeah.
We're supposed to see the splat.
Exactly. You'd think it was Marvel.
Yeah. Well, Marvel Light, because I think even Marvel films are PG-13.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure Shazam wasn't that dark either. Because it started a bunch of kids.
But it was good.
Okay, but it wasn't as dark as the other DC movies.
No. But what I'm saying, though, is it's okay that Shazam wasn't this. That dark, because Shazam was a different story.
Yeah.
This is a very dark story.
Yeah, that should have
needed
been
a different approach.
Yeah, it should have been dark. Yeah, I would agree. You don't have a character called Black Adam.
Yeah.
Because for people who haven't seen it, it's not because The Rock is more black in this film, personally. No. It's because the character is Black Adam, right? He wears black, too, by the way. Yeah. Looks pretty good in that suit, I gotta admit.
Wow. Rock looks good in everything. He's a movie star.
Yeah.
The only one on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Apparently.
It is. He is.
All right.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
So this was a tough round. I have to admit. And it was a little bit unfair to a certain degree.
I think it was really unfair, but whatever. One is the character that you see the entire movie.
Yes.
And one has a few really good scenes. I mean, he was working that chicken, man.
He was. He was. Actually, I just love that expression. Did you just come up with that right now? He's working that chicken. Actually, that is the best expression you've ever had. Murray, what do you think of that?
I didn't.
The vegan came up with a chicken joke.
Yeah, that is funny. I didn't know he knew what a chicken was.
Yeah, I agree. This was unfair. It was very unfair. But unfortunately, unfair doesn't save Sam Rockwell. I'm sorry. It's obvious.
Let's just do it. 1, 2, 3.
Christian Bale.
Steve Carell. He was so good in this.
Actually, Steve Carell was really good in this. Actually, if it was Steve Carell versus Sam Rockwell, it's no question it was Steve Carell.
Man.
He was the best. This was 5 Steve Carells out of 5.
He was so good in this.
Yeah, he was.
Steve Carell totally stole this movie.
If Steve Carell was actually mesmerizing always, then that would have been trouble.
He was mesmerizing in this movie, but yeah.
But Christian Bale, this is the thing about Christian Bale. And I think we've talked about this before.
Yes.
When you see him in the character that he's playing, you do not know it's Christian Bale. He's that character. He somehow metamorphoses himself into somebody completely different. Sam Rockwell was still Sam Rockwell working his chicken to be George W.
Well, I don't know. He became George W. But
he didn't. He was working his chicken, like you said.
Well,
he was. I didn't look at him.
That chicken scene, man, when they're sitting at the table and he's just chowing down on that chicken. That was like, that almost turned me. Like don't get me wrong.
You've seen chicken eaten before.
Christian Bale is obviously the pick in here, but it wasn't fair in my humble opinion. I would agree. But it is what it is.
It is the rules.
It is the rules. And but I'm telling you that scene where he's just chowing down, I honestly thought, well, maybe I can make a case. If I can get one more scene like this,
yeah, but we didn't. We didn't get 2 buckets of chicken in this movie.
We didn't get another. No.
Have you? You didn't get to see this, though. No, you should see this.
I had issues on the weekend.
Yeah, I know you did. But this is a movie you should see. Everybody should see this movie, especially our American friends. it's kind of actually quite scary when you think about it. This film, right? Like, only Hollywood could produce this much anti-American film and get away with it.
Yeah.
Right?
True. Yeah.
Yeah, Vice was
It's
awesome.
worth checking out. Vice was really good. So good.
All right, then. You know, one of the things I've been thinking, because he's not on our mesmerizing list, because we just lost Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
If there is only one actual movie star, would it not bode to say we should have Dwayne The Rock as mesmerizing?
We just raged about his last movie.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything.
He was
still in that
mesmerizing.
movie. It was still mesmerizing, but
just by standing there, he's
exactly.
mesmerizing.
I also don't think he actually works with anybody else who's actually on our list, like ever.
Oh, I'm sure you have.
worked
No,
with
most
Viola
of his
Davis.
co-stars are comedians and people who.
Although Viola
basically-
Davis wasn't in it for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No.
But he's been in a ton of movies with other. Yeah.
Well, this is a good challenge for you, Mur.
Yeah,
Rock the Dwayne Johnson.
Is mesmerizing.
He's mesmerizing.
Murray?
sure.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Yay!
I thought you were going to put Steve Carell out there.
No.
I
would say
was
Steve
awesome in
Carell
this
was
movie.
awesome in this movie.
and Steve Carell can be mesmerizing, but
Yeah,
in order
he's
to
not
be
always.
mesmerizing, you have to be consistently
Yeah, he's
mesmerizing.
not. You don't really like Steve Carell, though, do you?
I like some of his more serious stuff.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
about his humor, but
Yeah.
Okay.
Marwan was awesome.
Yeah, it was a good movie. And he was good in it.
He can be good. Even
Yes,
that
wasn't terrible. I
Crappy
guess
Foxcatcher, he was good in it.
he was awesome in
was
Foxcatcher,
yeah.
and that was not crappy. That
Yeah.
was
Oh,
excellent.
It was crappy.
You know what? He was good. He wasn't mesmerizing, though.
Yeah.
In that movie, he
Ultimately,
was.
he's not mesmerizing.
Although to be honest, in that movie, he was out mesmerized by one Mr. Mark Ruffalo, who just tends
Mr.
to,
Potato.
who I don't understand why he's not on the mesmerizing list. But
And so, Murray, did you have something? Well, because he's not mesmerizing. He's one of the most annoying actors. I don't want to have to reiterate this. Mark Ruffalo is a potato. And you could replace him with anybody that is potato adjacent or potato like,
He is
or
a
potato, or perhaps
fine
any. No, he is. I will die on the cross. The other person that I would like to put forward, which I know that Bryce is going to veto, but any chance I can get the opportunity, because they made a movie which I refuse to see because she is so repulsive, is Julia Roberts.
Yeah. no,
She's
I-
repulsive.
I won't go with that.
she's not repulsive.
She's absolutely repulsive.
She's in Pretty Woman.
Yeah, she's repulsive in
Like,
that.
30 years
She's
ago.
every single thing she's in. She's repulsive.
Yes.
Really?
I-
You're gonna say Julia Roberts is not repulsive? Yeah, everything. There's not one movie, and I kind of even
You know what?
stopped.
I am gonna put a pin in that,
Okay,
and at some point,
you're gonna watch some Julia Roberts.
I'm gonna
movies.
watch that new one, that George Clooney thing.
Yeah.
At some point,
That is the worst
And-
trailer.
and if after that,
If she's repulsive,
if she's
in that,
repulsive in that, I'll come back and I'll say, all right, she's on the repulsive list.
Yay!
So she's on deck.
Murray.
Yeah, all right.
She's on deck.
Pew pew.
Yeah. No, I ain't seen that piece of crap.
Now, have you got some
No.
goodies in your bag for next week? Well, maybe let's take next week off so Bryce can watch that Julia Roberts movie.
There you go.
And then maybe next week we can talk about
I don't
her.
know if I'm gonna watch it this week.
Let's hope he does.
Yeah.
It's just like 9,000 movies in the theater that I have to watch.
We have to watch a lot of movies next week. That's good for the lists.
Howdy, I'm Casey, the host of the Nerdy Photographer Podcast. Are you curious about photography? Perhaps you run a creative-minded business? Then you'll want to tune into the Nerdy Photographer Podcast. Episodes feature stimulating interviews and discussions, as well as a little bit of totally useless information. All set inside the frame of a science fiction comic book adventure. Yes, you heard that correctly. When I'm not providing entertaining and informative photography and business-related content, I'm going on adventures with the crew of the Starship Fibonacci. There's a sentient sullen spaceship, a sassy robot lady, a furball, and an android who does impressions. They're my #nerdyphoto crew. So what are you waiting for? Adventure awaits. Head over to nerdyphotographer.com or find the Nerdy Photographer Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Sounds intriguing.
And even more exciting is you get to hear the sweet, sweet dulcet tones of Casey, the nerdy photographer, every week on...
Last week on Rage or Dare, the boys gleefully took a break from the suspenseful, deviant torture play they have created for themselves that we are lovingly calling Death by High School Musical 3. Instead, they boarded the torturous rage train of evil remakes engineered by me, the nerdy photographer, the great and powerful conductor Casey. Toot toot. And they were forced to watch the 2011 version of Conan the Barbarian, starring Jason Momoa. This week, it's back to Bryce to tempt fate in what I'm sure he hoped would be death by chocolate. But no, it's not. Perhaps he'll be lucky and receive an unhealthy helping of Death by High School Musical 3. But now let's check in with the boys and see how many Momoas could a Momoa Chuck chop if a Momoa Chuck could chop Momoas. I'm sure this version of Conan the Barbarian was much better than the original Arnie version. Will Jason the Momoian crush his enemies, or will the boys be contemplating this film on the Tree of Woe?
All right.
Tree of Woe.
It's the Tree of Woe. Oh my God, Momoa. How many Momoas did he chop?
So Conan the Barbarian from 2011 has CGI gore at its worst, a bad script, a lot of noise, digital imagery to the point that it almost seemed like I was watching bad animation as opposed to a live action movie, and some awful performances from everybody involved. Like, nobody was on their game in this, and there were some actors in this. There's some decent actors in this. And what was Morgan Freeman tarnishing his reputation by narrating this rotting carcass of a movie?
Voice of God.
I can't believe the films coming out of Casey's bag are actually getting worse. I don't even know what else to say about this movie. I mean, it's just scene after scene of awful and boredom and garbage and just bad.
He was on a train of terror.
Oh, for crying out loud. This was another Rage. It was just like, what? Why? Like, what the hell was this?
Yeah.
And why was Morgan Freeman narrating this?
You know, it's funny you say that. I've got something to say about that too.
Oh.
So you're in for trouble when a movie that's shot in 2011 starts out with the worst CGI ever in a movie. And then they need to tell a short story as a setup for the movie we're just about to watch. I mean, I'm pretty sure the story wasn't going to be complex enough to pay Morgan Freeman to tell us a bedtime tale. And seconds later, Ron Perlman instantly does a C-section in 2.5 seconds of a battlefield, followed by unrealistic, oversized toddlers single-handedly taking on 5 grown men in what can only be explained as ugh. Then we get metallurgy class, again with oversized toddler, aka Child Conan, followed by a shit ton of blood for a children's movie, and at least it kind of felt like it was too much blood for a children's movie. This was a children's movie, right?
Yeah, it had baby Conan.
Yeah, had baby Conan, and it was for children, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, we spent the first 27 minutes showing us what Arnie only took 13 minutes to tell us, which was Conan loved his daddy, he grew up angry, and then, of course, we needed more, what? More Morgan Freeman to tell us why.
Why?
And why he's in there for 2 scenes. Not in there.
Yeah.
There wasn't like he was in the movie. It was like he was some kind of transition from obviously the short story bedtime story that he tells, and then it's like, okay, you know what we're missing here is now after Conan,
the writing
baby
so
Conan
bad. They needed a
becomes
Morgan
man
Freeman
Conan.
voiceover to explain stuff.
But just even in transitioning, I'm just like,
It was terrible.
what the actual fuck is happening? It just seemed everything was mismatched for this story. Super bloody storytelling, children's adventure film. And if you're going to cast someone to replace Arnie, at least cast current size Jason Momoa, not teenager Jason Momoa. The love interest was completely stupid and had zero chemistry. Plus, the acting was made for TV, AMC late night. The whole story was so much better done by Arnie, and that's not even saying much because I tried to go back and rewatch the original, and it's also terrible. So I'm just like, okay, you took a terrible movie
And made it
by
worse.
a god when Arnold Schwarzenegger used to be the only, what'd you call him again?
What's that? He was a movie star.
Yeah, when Arnold was the only movie star. And they replaced it with teenage Jason Momoa, who didn't even like. There was a dude that was part of his homie crew that was like twice his size, and you're kind of like, well, why didn't they cast him as Conan?
Yeah, why isn't he Conan?
He should have been Conan because he's massive. The only thing I remembered about this film from the first time I saw it was how I hated it so much, and then I walked out of the theater halfway through, and that's how I wished I'd remembered this.
Oh, but
now
you got to see the end.
Yeah. Now I'm just hoping for early onset Alzheimer's in hopes that I will forget this horrible, torturous monstrosity of a remake. Rage or Dare offered by Casey, the great and powerful, are 4 and counting, and Film Rage is 0. That's 4 Casey, 0 for us.
Yeah, he's as I've said before, he gets it.
Yeah. The only thing I actually liked about this movie,
I don't like
the
it.
only thing, okay,
nothing.
but okay, I agree. The whole movie was terrible.
Yeah.
But I just like to see Rose McGowan in films. She wasn't great in it, but I like to see her in films. Sorry, them in films.
I like Jawbreaker.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah. But I like to see Rose McGowan. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think she's cool.
She is.
Unless she's they now.
I
Can't remember.
I don't think so, but
Yeah,
whatever.
well, it's they. Rose McGowan. You're still cool. I love your leg with the gun on it.
Yeah, I did enjoy that one.
Right? Plantaire?
Yeah.
I've got that poster.
All right. You know what this means? Oh, by the way, that was a rage if I didn't mention
Yeah,
it.
I figured.
It was so bad. Even Rose McGowan couldn't save this.
No.
So we have. Oh my God, this could be.
I'm sorry. So I'm pretty sure that Casey misspoke because I think it's your turn.
No, it is not because I did Evita last week, and now it's your turn.
Was that last week? Are you sure?
Yep, absolutely positive.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
That was a couple weeks ago. What did I do? Didn't I do one last week?
No, you did nothing. But stick your hand in here and see if you pull Death by High School Musical 3.
I'm afraid.
I feel your pain.
Almost want to let go of this one that's in my hand and
I
pick
know.
another one, but I'm going to just... It's out
You're
now.
casting
There's
fate.
nothing I can do.
There's nothing... This is... Oh my God, I'm so excited.
I don't want to look.
I'm so excited right now.
I don't want to look.
Look.
See, this is not what this is about because you do not think that this is a bad movie. You're just trying to make me watch the worst movie that's ever been made.
Yes. Is it High School Musical 3?
No.
What is it?
It's The Life of David Gale.
Oh, yes! Finally! He balled it! No, I said it's a terrible movie. I didn't like it either. I just don't think it's the worst movie ever made. This is the best day of my life.
I am not amused.
I'm so happy. I can't tell you how happy.
I do not want to watch this movie.
I know. It's so terrible.
And I think that this...
Nope. You cannot get out of it. I fucking watched Evita last week, bitch, and it was 2 hours and 7 hours long. I had to watch that singing all the way through it. You're seeing the life of David Gale, and then you're going to tell me
the essence
if it's
of Rage or Dare is supposed to be.
This is absolutely the full essence, the full onslaught of Rage or Dare that has ever been created. It's finally come. Next week is the week, and then we're going to find out if High School Musical 3 is actually worse than the life of David Gale, because that will be coming.
I'll never know, because you're the one that's going to be picking it from my bag.
Maybe I'll be twice lucky.
All right, whatever.
Right?
I'll watch this piece of crap of a movie.
And we're going to find out. People have been listening to us for actually, is it 3 years yet? Almost 3 years to find out if there's another movie worse than The Life of David Gale.
There isn't. It's the worst movie ever made.
We're going to find out. Maybe this time you watch it, it'll be like, oh, it was a breath of fresh air.
No.
I mean, after all, we did watch Black Adam.
Yeah. Black Adam is like 10 times the movie this, and I hated Black Adam. But I hate this with the rage.
Murray, isn't this the best day of your life?
I'd rather watch Black Adam 1,000 times in a row than watch this once.
I'm so happy right now.
I hate this movie.
I didn't like it either.
Okay, so after I watch this, and I will watch it,
of course
I never have to watch it again.
No, never, because that's the rule. Okay. Unless you start another podcast called Film Rage 2.0, and somebody else makes you watch it. If I'm part of Film Rage 2.0, I may actually get you to watch it again.
I will refuse.
Oh, this has been the best rage-filled episode ever. Thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the Extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey from The Nerdy Photographer for the voice of Rage or Dare. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please, 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 please make us rage. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage on.